Hello, friends! If you downloaded the meal map, welcome! This is actually the same meal planning sheet I've been sharing with friends and family for years. I have finally decided to clean it up and share it with all of you. So, I am a chef, I'm a mom. I feel like I have 100 hats on any given day. And over the years, I realized that I don't actually start my meal planning for the week with the food. I start with my schedule because my schedule determines how much energy I have for dinner. Some nights I have time to grill burgers and make the most extensive salad you've ever seen, and sometimes I need dinner to basically make itself. Um, Once I started planning around my week, though, instead of planning around recipes, everything got a bit easier. Before we get started, one quick note. If you're using the template, make sure you create your own copy first. So once you open it, you're going to want to go to File, make a copy so you can edit and save your own version. Before we talk about recipes, I want you to look at this page. The biggest shift in my meal planning process is that I start with my schedule, not my recipes. Most people start by asking, what sounds good this week? What do I want to make? I start by asking, what's happening this week? That's why the first 5 steps are look at your calendar. We're going to identify your busiest day, give that day the easiest dinner, then we'll assign the rest of the proteins, choose our recipes will be last. And honestly, those 5 steps are the entire system. Let's look at what they actually mean. The first thing I do every week is fill in the what's actually happening section right here. Ignore everything else here. This will be filled in for you as prompts when you open it, but you're going to fill these in for yourself. So let's see what I have. I've got swim lessons Monday, maybe some baseball Tuesday. We are working late on Wednesday. We've got a gym night on Thursday. Friday is our family's standing pizza night, and we have no plans on Saturday. And it's date night on Sunday, but we do need a dinner for the children. This is all important because I'm not planning food yet. I'm just looking for friction. I'm looking for the places where dinner is most likely to become stressful. And for me, that's Wednesday. I already know it's going to be late. I'm going to be tired. Definitely do not want to come home and make a complicated dinner. So before I do anything else, I'm going to protect that day. Make this an easy night. And so easy night doesn't necessarily mean takeout. It doesn't necessarily mean frozen food. Sometimes it does, but sometimes easy night is simply a low effort meal. And so in this example, I chose salsa chicken bowls because that's actually a crock pot meal. I can literally just throw everything in there before I go to work, and then dinner is basically waiting for me when I get home. All I have to do is put some fun toppings on and dinner is done. The goal is not convenience food. It's just low effort. The goal is matching dinner to the amount of energy I have for that day. So now that I've protected my hardest day, the rest of the planning gets a little bit easier. So I'll go ahead and assign proteins next. Let's do some fish. We're going to do vegetarian one night. We've got that one sorted out. Pork. We're going to talk about this one, but we're going to leave this one open night. And then I'm going to leave this also other. So whatever sounds good for the week, we have different options you can select, making it easy for you to pick and give yourself some variety. It gives you variety without forcing you to make a decision all at one time. Okay, so then I choose dinners, and notice the recipes come after the schedule, not before. And that's like really the biggest shift in this whole system. So let's go back to Saturday. Let's talk about Saturday. You'll notice I intentionally leave one night open in the mix of dinners. This is another rule I swear by. Just leave one night open. Don't put anything in there. Most planning systems try to fill every single box, but I do not do that because life happens. Plans change. Leftovers occur. Yay! And maybe you get invited somewhere, or maybe Thursday's dinner sounds better on Saturday. Just leave yourself some room. In our family, we joke that we're pivoting every day. Pivot, pivot. And honestly, that's where the phrase plan once, pivot freely came from. It's just to make things a little bit easier, be open with changes, but also leave yourself some room for those changes. And before we move on, you'll notice two sections at the bottom. Future me will thank me. These are little things I can do ahead of time to make the week easier. Once I've planned out my dinner plan, I know that one of them, I've got frozen chicken, gonna want to thaw that for that recipe. Wash berries, maybe cook some rice ahead of time and have it ready to go. We're going to prep veggies for that roasted vegetable tray that we need to do, cut down on 20 minutes or so of all of that. And then, of course, maybe we just order groceries. Nothing complicated, just really small wins that make the busy days feel a little bit easier. And then we have when life happens. These are things you can throw in here so that you are prepared and that you know, because life always does happen. I like having a backup plan. What is my takeout option? Burrito night. We like to do that a lot sometimes. If it's a takeout night, it's probably going to be burritos, but we know that. What's my freezer meal? When things go sideways, I already have an answer. Moving on to the recipe vault. Also intentionally simple. I do not care where you store your recipes. Pinterest, Paprika app, cookbooks, you have a screenshot, maybe you have an Instagram save, whatever works for you. This is just a place to remember what worked. And this is my favorite part. You can add as much or as little as you would like, but the notes column is the most important part. So things like, oh, the kids actually ate this. These were great leftovers. This one was crock pot. I can save it for one of those busy nights. This one makes enough lunch for tomorrow. Things that I'm going to forget 6 months from now after making it, but know that I want to use that recipe again. Then we have the grocery list. Once I've planned my week and chosen my meals, then I build the grocery list. Also, nothing fancy here, just organization to get through the grocery store without forgetting cilantro. So separated things into produce, protein, dairy, pantry, frozen items, and anything else that you need. The goal is simple. You just shop once and have what you need for the week. And then if life changes, and it will, you can pivot without needing another grocery run. So honestly, this is what the meal map is all about. We're not trying to create a perfect meal plan. We're trying to make dinner easier, trying to reduce decision fatigue, and we're trying to stop reinventing dinner every single night. So if you take one thing away from this system, let it be this. Start with your schedule, not your recipes. Protect your hardest day. Leave one night open. And if Tuesday sounds better on Monday, pivot. The groceries stay the same. That is all I have for you. Thanks for downloading the BTA Meal Map. I hope that this helps make dinner feel just a little easier.